Hello, I'm Reeni and today I'm going to be reviewing the Touchfive alcohol-based markers. I bought the 168 set off eBay for about £35 and honestly I just found the cheapest seller. I bought the entire set simply because if you buy the smaller sets like the 40 or 80 markers, you have to pick certain types, so for example animation or design, and I wasn't really too sure, so I just went with the entire set. The actual markers themselves come with a bullet nib and a chisel nib on both sides. And to be honest, I'm not a marker enthusiast. This is my first time using any sort of alcohol-based marker, so I'm not particularly fussed about the fact that it doesn't have a brush nib. But I do know a lot of people find it a deal breaker. Personally, for me, I'm fine. I think this works really well. I would definitely recommend this, especially as a beginner, because it's cheap, it's cheerful, it works, it's pretty decent. So if you are looking for a beginner marker set, I would definitely recommend these. Obviously I can't speak for the smaller sets of colours because I got the entire set. However, I will say there is a huge variety of colours. With the browns and the blues and the greens especially, I find that the colours are very dark, although there is a large selection of them. But the best selection of colours are most probably within the warm colours like red, pink and orange and yellow. And there's quite a lot. There's a lot of grey. So if you like grey, then you'll be happy. I mean, there's, I think, green grey, blue grey, cool grey and warm grey. So you'll find something that you like if you like grey. This particular brand of bleed proof paper is very thin. It's 70 grams per square meter, and I think its main purpose is for sketching and for rough work. It's not something you would really use for a final product. So I also bought another pad of paper. I think it's called Bristol board, and it feels very similar to card. This is actually really nice and I would recommend it. I think the colours of the markers show up really nicely, it glides on very smoothly, it blends, yeah, it's very nice. A good idea is to make a colour chart. I found this on the internet, but again, I printed it on the wrong side of the paper, so the colours aren't very accurate, and to be honest, I think I might have not allowed the printer ink to dry. As you can see, there's a lot of smudging, and that also tainted the colours of the markers. My first attempt with the markers luckily happened to be on the correct side. However, I applied way too many layers of wet ink and it ended up feathering and looking really patchy. You can see around her eyes, it just kind of looks really horrible and just not nice. The second attempt I did, I drew on the wrong side, and you can tell because the ink has just not absorbed, it's pulled up, it's sat on the top of the paper. It kind of almost looks like really bad watercolour. Don't do what I did. If we compare the two, you can see clearly which side is correct because the colours have completely gone through, which is what you want. So I had another practice just to play around with the colours, but yeah, colouring with markers is really hard. I'm drawing on the Bristol board paper with a random pink pencil that I found somewhere, and today I'm sketching the character Marinette from Miraculous. When I was about to purchase the Touchfive markers, I was kind of debating between whether or not I should get the Ohuhu markers or the Touchfive. In the end I simply went with Touchfive because the entire set was much cheaper than Ohuhu, and I figured, I mean, they're all sort of really the same thing. But I was actually really pleasantly surprised by the Touchfive markers. Depending on the paper you use, so if you're using the Bristol board paper, the Touchfive markers don't really come out very streaky. It's a very nice, coherent, flat colour. The colours come out really vibrant, and to be honest, like, these markers are about, I don't know, 40p a marker, and you're not really going to find a better deal anywhere else. I mean, Yeah, I understand why Copic markers are so much more expensive, but as a beginner, I think these Touchfive markers are well worth the money. Oh, and I know that a lot of other people have had an issue with the Touchfive markers either having some sort of odour or them being really dry. I cannot detect any sort of smell, and I think I only had about 2 markers that were dry, but in a set of 168, I mean, that's pretty good. I'm going to stop talking now and just carry on with the speed drawing, and I'll get back to you when I start doing the final details. Here I'm lining the face with the Sakura Micron pens in brown, I think, in 0.25 millimeters. I'm just going over the skin and hair with colouring pencils, but to be honest, it didn't really make much of a difference. And then I'm doing the background. Funnily enough, the heart seemed to be the most trickiest thing to draw. I just couldn't get it right. For the colour of the heart itself, I couldn't really find a colour that I liked. The colours were either way too dark or too bright, and so in the end I decided to layer a light warm grey with a hot pink. The grey might seem streaky at first, that's because the ink hasn't dried properly yet, and some of the markers you do need to build it up with a few layers before you actually see the true colour of the marker. So it's not actually streaky in real life, and then of course when I layered the pink on top, it sort of evened itself out. And now I'm just going over around the edges of Marinette in white acrylic paint. The brand I use is Liquitex Basics, and I'm using a fine brush. I do have a white gel pen. I have the Uniball Signo white gel pen, but I don't know, I don't really like it. It kind of comes out kind of streaky, and maybe I just got a faulty pen, but I don't really seem to like it, so I'm using acrylic paint. So I'm just adding the finishing touches, just going over areas that I think may need another touch up of brown ink and white paint, and we're done. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you learned something about the markers. Let me know what you'd like to see in the future. If you want to see more marker videos or speed paints or tutorials or anything like that, just leave a comment and let me know. Bye!